Well, hello. Welcome, Meldor. Yay.
Hey,
All right.
hi everybody. Hi Kim, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Um, you are the Chicago's Aloha shirt psychic. Woohoo.
Love your hat.
Well, thank you. It's a friend of mine's birthday is tomorrow.
Now, who might that be?
That's you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mel. La 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 la. Happy birthday to you. And I have a candle.
Oh my goodness.
You
I'll
blow
blow.
it out.
Yeah,
Woohoo! And I'll have a sip of my vodka.
there you
No,
go.
it's actually not really. My sparkling water. Cheers.
Water.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drink to that.
All right. There were so many people that wanted to say happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody, for making it so special. And I got this shirt for my birthday. It says, uh, "Not your average psychic."
Well, that's for sure. How did you decide to be called the Aloha shirt psychic?
Well, it happened on YouTube.
Oh,
I just was like the spirit within Meldor, right? And so in the summertime, um, which in Chicago can be like August, but anyway, no, I'm teasing. I always wear Aloha shirts.
oh,
And so I did a show with Linda Grindle and Danny Shea, the bathrobe psychic. And Linda's the Comanche psychic. And I was looking for a moniker. And somebody said, "Well, you're always wearing Aloha shirts." And I said, "The Aloha shirt psychic." So
nice.
I've studied Hawaiian stuff for years. And Aloha in Hawaiian means hello, goodbye. It also means love. Alo means, and it means a lot more. Alo means the center of all creation. Ha means breath. So when I say aloha, I'm giving someone my breath from the center of all creation, the breath of God, the breath of spirit. And so um, I love that word aloha.
Yes,
And
that is beautiful.
the aloha shirt psychic, and it spreads aloha. So there you go.
Aw, that matches you.
Thank you.
Um, and so I know it does get awfully chilly in Chicago, and so I know you're a traveler. Do you travel because it gets so cold there?
No,
Okay.
I'd always wanted to travel. My mother used to call me the vagabond, but my husband worked for a tour operator, and they put together the big tours, like the ones like going to Italy and Uganda and next in 2024 Rhine River cruise. And they asked me when he would work there if I would be a group leader. So group leader means if I get 15 or more people together, I get a free trip. And I said, I'm not going to do it while he works here. So when he left working there, they asked me if I would do it. And I said, yes. um,
Nice.
but meanwhile, when he worked there, we got a lot of perks as well. A lot of free trips and things like that. Now, the company he's working for now wants me to do it for them.
Oh, wow.
So, I will, but at some point. um, so because he works in travel, and I've learned a tremendous amount about travel. I
Uh-huh.
can't do what he does. He does all the operations and does the cost analysis and all of that. I just like putting the people together and going on the tour. But when I'm on the tour, I'm working. I don't work for the company, but my job is to make sure everything's taken care of. They're having a good time. If there's a problem, I'll help them take care of it. So, but anyway, so where he's working now, we get perks, and so that's how we're able to travel.
How nice. And then you've got a trip to Italy, and
That
I'm
somebody I
going.
know is coming on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll have my. No, I don't know if I'll bring my hat or not,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I'm wearing a hat for you today because it's your birthday tomorrow. But that's why I want to just remind people they don't know it's your 49th birthday.
49.
So yeah, 49.
And holding for 20 years.
And then you still have, do you have spots left for Italy still?
I do. I had a cancellation. And so I have some spots open for Italy. We're leaving October the 9th of this year. If you're interested, you can call my office, 847-590-5411. Again, 847-590-5411. The Rhine River Cruise I'm excited about because that starts in Amsterdam and we come all the way down through Germany and we stop in Strasbourg, France, which is amazingly beautiful. And then let's see, I think then we end up in Switzerland. We get off the boat in Switzerland and we go to Lucerne. We're there for 2 nights and then we fly home.
Nice.
So now that one, if they book that trip, they just have to pay a deposit. If they pay that deposit by May the 31st of this year, the airfare is free from anywhere within the continental United States. So
lovely. Wow. Nice. So that's I think I'm signing up for that one too.
Oh, good. Yeah. Hey, any other psychic readers out there in YouTube land, join us. You'll have a good time.
Hello, Alice. Hello, Ron. Hello, Mary. Robin. Hello.
Robin, yes, we're gonna stop in Basel. The answer is yes. It'll the itinerary. Wait, I'll just give it. Some people are asking about the itinerary.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'll give it to you real fast, you all.
Yes.
Okay. So we start in Amsterdam. And then from Amsterdam, we get on the boat. We have a tour of Amsterdam. We stop in Cologne or Korn. That's in Germany. We'll see the Cathedral of Cologne. It took them 600 years to build. Then from there, we'll go to Koblenz. When we get to Koblenz, we'll go down the Mosel River to Cochem, and we'll see Reichsburg Castle. It's really amazing. It's really beautiful. And then from Cochem, we'll come back to the Rhine, and we'll turn right on the Rhine. And we'll go to Heidelberg. We'll see Heidelberg Castle, but we'll see all the castle ruins on the hilltops. And that whole area of Germany, that Alsace-Lorraine area, is where all the Riesling wines come from. So it's that area where France, Germany, and Switzerland meet. And it's really cool. So from Heidelberg, we'll go to Kiel. From Kiel, they'll take us to Strasbourg, France. We'll spend the day in Strasbourg. Strasbourg's absolutely beautiful. We'll then from Kiel, we'll go down to Breisach, Germany. That's UNESCO site, to Freiburg. Then from there, we'll go to Basel, Switzerland. We'll have a tour of Basel. We'll get off the boat in Basel, and then they'll coach us to Lucerne. And we'll have 2 nights in Lucerne. We'll have a guided tour of Lucerne, and then they'll coach us to Zurich, and then we'll fly home. So that's the whole trip.
Wow, that's packed too.
It is. There's a lot to see and do.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Hello, everybody again. And thank you for hitting the like button. That's so nice. And you guys realize that we are double streaming here. And I'm also streaming on my Facebook page too.
Oh, wow. So we're
no idea what's going on over there. I really don't know how. I've never done that before. So this is we have moved into another dimensional reality on YouTube.
So you'll have to show me how to stream on Facebook at the same time. Kim told me, she asked me today if we wanted to go live and we could simultaneously stream on my channel. And I said, yeah, but I'll call you half hour early because I don't know how to do it.
But you did it, so let's push a button.
Yeah, right.
It's
well, if you know how to do it, it's easy. If you don't, it's like, ah.
Right. And I can show you how to allow guests once you do it on your channel too. That's also easy.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So I have a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
Now today we are focused on questions. Well, I'm going to ask Mel some questions about himself. And then I have some questions that came from today on the chat on my channel. And so I have some of those questions. I'm using the questions that are most universal so that people will benefit. The personal questions today, I'm going to be doing some personal questions tomorrow, with Lisa, and then on Friday again with Kelly Scarborough. So I'm trying to wait to do the personal questions, if that's okay with you, Mel.
That's fine.
Oh, right. Okay. So now this is a hard question, Mel. You ready? Woohoo. Okay. All right. What brings you joy?
A double vodka and tonic tall with a twist. What's the twist for? My supper. I need the roughage. Oh man, what doesn't bring me joy? I love traveling. That,
Yeah.
you know, I love dog training. I love dogs. I love cooking. I love doing YouTube. I love doing my psychic work. Life. I love life. Life brings me joy.
Good. Do you think, though, that this is what's helped keep you so young? I mean, if you were to give somebody advice in your young years, what do you think helps keep people young at heart or body?
Never think old.
There you go. Never
You know,
think old.
I hear people, oh, I'm too old to do this and that. I'm like, really? You know, maybe you can still do it, just not as long as when you were 18.
Or as quick.
Or as quick, thank you. Or, you know, I come upstairs and I think, what did I come up here to get? And I go back downstairs and I remember. Then I'm like, I don't want to go back up the steps.
Yeah.
But, you know, my mother, before she was diagnosed with breast cancer, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer at 87. And she was running circles around 40-year-olds. She started her own catering business at 65. So it was always, we grew up with, you're never too old. And that's kind of what stuck.
Oh, wow. I love that.
You know, I mean, my grandmother had a heart attack and died while she was playing bingo. She loved to gamble. I mean, my grandmother was not milk and cookies, but she, you know, she died doing what she loved to do.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
yeah. Now, I think before when we talked, when I was on your channel, you had mentioned that you grew up in a family that psychic development, metaphysics, that was normal.
Correct.
Do you also have a mentor in your psychic development?
A lot of them.
Okay.
I remember, you know, my mother's cousin married a guy from Chicago that she met during World War II. So from the time we were kids, you know, we grew up poor, but occasionally we'd take trips to Chicago. And I always said, that's where I'm going to end up. So when I was 18, I went to college for a year. My grandfather, my mother's father, got sick with cancer, and I quit school to help take care of him. And when he died, I moved to Chicago for 2 years.
Oh.
But I knew about psychic work, and I was delving into it then. But during that period, I started attending a spiritualist church. And there was Reverend Charlotte Bright from the First Temple of Universal Law in Chicago and Reverend Wanda McClanahan. And they had what they call development lessons.
Yeah.
And you would sit in this dark room for hours and just wait to get a message.
Yeah. For years too, right?
Oh, yeah. But it just started. And, you know, I had a lot of great teachers. One I worked with was Peter Herkels. He was a psychic that worked on the Sharon Tate murders and the Boston Strangler case out in California. There were a lot of well-known psychics that I've worked with. And nice. I remember when I used to be the young kid on the block. Now I'm the grandpa.
Now you're here for us.
Well, there's some wonderful psychics on YouTube as well.
Oh, yeah. Right,
right. I mean, you're one of them. Linda Grindle's an excellent psychic. Kevin Chandler, Kevin Lewis. I mean, Danny Shea. You know, a lot of the people whose shows I've been on. And if I'm leaving anybody out, Cool Crone and
Susan Lynn is one.
Susan Lynn.
Yeah.
The one in Louisiana. Oh, I'm on her show.
Louisiana. Is that Deanne?
Deanne's good. It'll come to me. I'm sorry. If you're
not Louise. Okay, I'm thinking of Lisa. No.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, it'll come. But
okay.
So there's a lot of wonderful psychics here,
Yeah.
and it's kind of fun to when they're first starting out to have them on the show or to be on their shows and things like that. I mean, Linda Grindel's the one that really pushed me to get my YouTube channel up and going. I'm like, here we are. So
Yeah.
I'm glad she did, and
Yeah.
I met some wonderful people.
Hmm.
So I've had some great teachers.
Hmm. Oh, good. Well, and I know you're a teacher yourself, so
I
yay.
taught I taught at Infinity Foundation up in Highland Park, Illinois for 21 years. I retired from that. Um, I love teaching. I loved teaching seminars, and I tell people I can't teach anyone to be psychic, but what I can do is show you ways to hook into what you have, into your own psychic ability. So
Yeah. Love it. Okay. Thanks, Great Day, for saying love the hat. Thank you. And there's other people saying happy birthday to you too. So awesome. Now, one of the things I was
Voices from the Swamp. That's it. Voices from the Swamp.
oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yes.
That was the channel I was trying to think of.
Yes. Now, this is more about aging and cultures. So, because I know you know a lot about different cultures, but on the ancient cultures, what do you think about, let's say, could be Lemuria, Atlantis, Egyptian, whatever? Do you think they had rejuvenation or anti-aging drinks or thoughts or creams, or what do you think about that? What do you feel on that?
I'm sure in every culture, people have to come to death as an inevitability, and we have to face our own mortality. We don't like to, but we have to. And so I think in every culture, they probably had some kind of drink or some kind of potion or something that they would make them feel young and to maintain their youth, if you will.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think it's been going on since humankind has walked the planet. Did they work? I don't know.
Right, right. When you just said that, I had this image of drinking something golden, and it, because I've heard of this golden stuff you put on your face. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Gold. Okay, but I just visioned them something drinking something to drink that's golden. That would be something like that. I don't know. I just saw that. Who knows?
So you had a flash of the past. Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Virtual
I'm sure I would have been doing that. I'm sure.
Me too. I was probably taking a bath in it. Today we have something called Botox. So
And then you put the gold on top of it,
there
and then
you
you
go.
sleep with that gold blanket, and then
The gold tox. How's that?
the gold. I love it. I love it. When we look at the golden sun, and it's kind of up there in my StreamYard picture, when we put that gold light, that sunrise, sunset light into our third eye, which then goes into that pineal gland, that does activate a lot of like intuition and greater wisdom.
I totally believe that. Totally.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
show you a picture I took Christmas Eve in Hawaii, if I can find it. And I use it now in some of my thumbnails. But I love sunrises and sunsets. And
Yeah.
I love to take pictures. And this one was taken right outside of our timeshare on the island of Kauai on Christmas Eve morning. It's the sunset come up.
Wow.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes, it's just coming over to give you a little hug.
Correct.
That light.
That little nudge,
Yes, beautiful.
And there is like when it's starting to come up.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah, I just love the sunrises. They're so neat. And I've got all kinds of photos of sunrises. In fact, I took one a couple years ago in St. Croix, and a friend of mine, Arlene Leakin, she is a phenomenal artist, and she painted a picture of it and she brought it to me. But I'll show you the picture that I took. It's one of my favorite pictures. That is the photo.
Oh, wow. Stunning.
And she painted that, and it's hanging in my hallway. And I mean, her work is just phenomenal. And
oh my gosh. Love that. That's beautiful. Really.
There's a lot to grandfather son.
Yes. I love grandfather son.
Me
That's
too. And Grandmother Moon, who's a keeper of the intuition.
grandmother moon. Hey, that reminds me. Do you think that your intuition changes with the phases of the moon? You personally, I mean, you personally.
I think we all have it. I think there's different forms of the gift, and some of us have it stronger than others, but we all have it. And for those who, have it, it's like playing the piano. Some people can sit down and be wonderful, and then some people can just plunk out a song. Like me, I know how to do that, right? But we can all press the keys. And so intuition's like that piano.
Uh-huh.
And it's just depending on who's playing it and which keys are being pressed. So some
Yes.
people have talent for it and have the gift, and others have it. It's just not as it's just not as profound as some other people who have it, but we all have it.
Yes. But I think the moon has an influence on our intuition.
It does. It has an
The
influence on
phases.
everything.
The phases of the moon.
And so does weather, and so
Oh,
does
yeah.
how we're feeling physically. That all
Right.
has an impact on it.
Right. Right. Colors, I think, do as well.
Color is huge, huge.
Yes.
Like if
Yeah.
you're feeling tired, go in a red room, fire engine red, you'll perk up right away.
That'll wake you up all right. Yes, and they're asking about free readings tonight. I have questions already kind of picked, you guys. And then if you want personal readings tomorrow, and then Friday, and then Mel, you may be doing that too in the next few days. I don't know. Okay, so now I do want to. I wanted to ask you about your dog training, but I don't want to get too far. Go ahead and just tell us a little bit, because I know you love dogs. I love dogs, and I wish you could come down here and just do a little training for me, because my dogs, anybody will tell you they need it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're sweet dogs.
Well, they're sweet. Yeah.
Well, Angela De Palma, we train dogs at my office on Sunday. She's a trainer. She lets me help.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot about it. So I'm qualified to evaluate dogs through the American Kennel Club for Canine Good Citizen. There's 10 things a dog has to do. Canine Citizen Advanced, 10 more things they have to do. For Urban Dog, that's kind of like therapy dog. For trick training, there's 5 different levels of trick training, 10 tricks in each level that gets progressively more difficult. I'm qualified to evaluate dogs for that, and for Star Puppy. So typically we start out training dogs with the basic sit, down, stay, come, leave it, take it. And then we evaluate for Canine Good Citizen. And then we put them into Canine Good Citizen Advance, and then we'll start trick training. The idea is that we want to start training therapy dogs to take out into hospitals and schools and things like that.
Uh-huh.
And we also train service dogs. A service dog is a dog trained to help someone with a disability. So we train them the basic stuff that service dogs need to know. And then other trainers will take the dog and then train the dog according to a person's specific disability, whether it's hearing or a seizure alert dog or a diabetic alert dog, things like that.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. That's beautiful work. Oh,
Great
dogs need, they need to be needed.
They do. And they're unconditional. They're sweet.
Oh my gosh. I think they're angels on earth.
They are. They really are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know we could probably do a whole show just on dogs, honestly.
Let's do it.
Okay. We can, because I think people will have questions.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to do that specifically. Now, I think I might move into questions from viewers. Is that okay? Are you ready, Mel?
Yes.
You ready?
I just see Homegrown Standards. She says she has 2 pups in NKC Star Puppy class. Yay!
Oh,
That's so cool.
and she has a question for us too. She had actually a couple questions, I think, if I remember. Yeah, I've got her name down here. Okay, I'm going to start with a question by Jasmine.
Okay.
Jasmine, I know dearly. She has taken several classes from me, so I know her intimately. She's an amazing intuitive. Okay. Hi, Kim and Mel. I was thinking how Mel has mentioned working on unsolved detective cases. Can Mel explain his process of how he works with and releases the difficult emotional energy that often surrounds some of these cases? Any advice for empathic psychics and mediums on moving through very heavy emotional energy while doing readings? Thanks for these talks with three purple hearts.
Oh, thanks, husband. You know, I used to say when I was working on a missing person, or then if it became a murder case, I didn't give it up. I worked on it like a dog hunting for a bone, if you will. Um, and you carry some of that with you. A word of advice, though, I get people calling me a lot and saying, "Oh, I want to call the police about this murder case and tell them blah 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 blah." And my advice is no, because they're getting inundated with phone calls anyway. And there were a couple cases where a psychic did call a police department and they were accurate and they got arrested. They found out later they didn't do it. So I would never take a case unless the police department would call me or if the family would call me. If the family told the police what I had to say and then the police called me in, I would no longer have anything to do with the family.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's the person in question could be a family member. And I never went public with it when we were working on it. I can talk now about cases I've worked on. But even now, if I'm working on that case, I won't go public with it. And I don't take any money for it. That I did all for free.
I see. Yeah.
So what I would do is I would visualize pure white light coming through my feet. I would always pull it from the Earth Mother.
Mm-hmm.
I would pull it up through my knees, through the waist, up to the solar plexus, heart, shoulders. Then I would visualize the light coming through my hands, meeting the elbows, coming through my shoulders, pull it up through the throat chakra, third eye, crown. I would send it to spirit and ask for it to be purified, or great
Mm-hmm.
spirit or God or whatever, and bring it back down the exact same way. When I got to here, I would visualize some going out my shoulders, through my elbows, through my hands to the Earth Mother, and then come back here at the heart, bring it down just the opposite way I just described. When I got to my feet, I would ground it. So that is completing that circuit. And it was for purification, and that helped a lot.
Oh, I like that. The purification.
And so for people that are doing like, readings,
Yep.
even though it's not a murder case, you can try that, what I just described, because it helps to keep you grounded and it helps to keep you from carrying a lot of the energies that we absorb.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, I do like that. That's a different way than I normally do it, but I like how you're saying this, and you're circling it back around.
Correct.
And I always use the words observe but not absorb. I use that too.
I like that. That's really good advice. But we're going to absorb a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible not to.
Impossible.
But I think, no matter how you do it, as long as it works for you. This is the technique I invented that works for me. Well, Spirit gave it to me, actually. But if it works for you, use it. Yay.
Yeah. And, I want to add to that, Mel. I think if we had a whole full diet every day, all day long of working on murder cases, that's just too much. You've got to mix it in with some joy.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah, you can do all purification if you want, but if that's all you've got, that's pretty hard.
That's a really good point, Kim. It's all about lokahi. It's all about balance.
Yes.
I mean, it does take a toll on you. Specifically if it's a missing person, and when they go missing, if they don't know if they're alive or dead, and then they end up dead. The hardest cases I ever worked on were the cases of children, missing children. Those were tough.
Yeah, children and animals too.
Animals as well.
Both of those. Difficult, very difficult emotionally. But I hear this so much. What can I do for that? Good answer. Thank you. Okay, now here's another question. If you're ready, we're ready or not. Here we go. Willow Breeze is saying, wonderful to see you again, Kim and Mel. Happy birthday, Mel. Many blessings. May you be filled with joy.
Thank you.
No question. She just wanted to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, Barbara Grace. Hi, Kim. I just want to say thank you to all the genuine light workers out there that have kept everyone relatively sane for the last few years. Mel has the most amazing, gentle energy, and I really love his work with dogs as well. Look at that.
Thank you.
He's so awesome. Now, this is your night, Mel. So personal question, will my arm heal properly and how long? I mean, we're not really taking personal questions. I feel yes, but I mean, if I was just...
Hi, Vivienne. Thank you, Vivienne, or Vivienne, however you say it, she always posts how to get in touch with the guests.
Viviani, I know. Thank you.
Was it Viviani? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Viviani. And thank you to the moderators. And thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Rose, for the happy birthday wish to Mel.
So will the arm heal well? Is that was the question?
Yeah, properly, she says.
Well, I don't know what properly healing is, but I know what it is. All right. So I'm seeing it healing very, very well. And almost to about like 95%. There might be, a slight decrease of motion, but pretty much it'll heal really well. So, just don't try to keep it like this because that'll freeze your shoulder. And that's what you don't want. But I'm not giving medical advice. It's just answering the question. Yeah. So I see it pretty much a full healing. The answer is yes.
Me too. And then she just has another question. This is a political question. I don't know if you're ready. Okay. Will Boris Johnson's involvement in Le Bizor, I am probably saying that wrong, be made public? It's the escort modeling agency that he co-owned in London, what was supplying girlfriends and wives for the wealthy. Thank you for your good work. Will that be made?
I see it coming to light. The answer to that is yes, clearly.
I think it's already pretty much.
Well, to use the vernacular, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Okay, Nan Binning. Happy birthday, Mel. You don't look a day over 30.
Oh, thank you. Keep talking. I'm bringing you home with me.
Can you give some advice how to develop my psychic and mediumship abilities?
It's already there. And part of what I get people to do is pay attention to that first thing that comes through. If you're auditory, it'll be more like inner voice. Not like we're talking, but that little inner voice. If you're visual, it'll be more visual in your mind's eye. If you're feeling, it'll be more of a feeling, but it's that first thing that comes through. And then what happens is we get that information, and then we get hung up into what one of my students called analysis paralysis. Is this me thinking this? This is my psychic ability, And we get so hung up in that, then we kind of lose the message. So the hardest thing for me to get my students to do is just give the first thing that comes through. And chances are they'll be like, I'm not feeling anything. I'm going, you're trying too hard. What's going on in your body? And when they start explaining that, the person they're attempting to read will say, yeah, that's what's going on in my body right now. So it's just you step out of the fear and the analysis paralysis. Mm-hmm. That's lesson 1.
Very good. Yes. I also want to say, I think it's good to, like you say, notice that first thing, but also make sure you take time every day to have your own time to yourself.
Absolutely.
So you know who you are.
That's right. That's very important.
Because if you don't know who you are, then you won't know when somebody else comes or something else comes.
That's very, very profound. That's correct. I take time for myself every day, believe it or not.
I bet you do. I'm glad you do. I try to. I do something, but I like to have my meditation time.
I chill out by watching cooking shows on YouTube.
Well, there you go. You can do that. Or drinking your sparkling water.
My sparkling water maker I just bought.
Okay, now let's see here. Leah says, hello and thank you both. Very happy birthday to Mel tomorrow. We all love you. Can you please give advice for, let me see here, for trying, same kind of question that Jasmine had, for trying to release unhelpful thoughts and feelings when the world is challenging?
By the way, Kevin Chandler's in the house. Kevin's Loving Vibrations. Hi,
Hello,
Kevin.
Kevin.
We're doing a show on Thursday night. So hi.
Okay. Well, look at that. Okay. Are you guys doing personal or political readings, or what are you doing?
We're going to do political.
Okay. All right. Place to be Thursday night.
Okay. So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Okay. This is from Leah. She's very happy birthday. And what do you do to release unhelpful thoughts and feelings when the world gets challenging?
Well, it depends if you're OCD. If it's an obsessive thought, then it's identifying it as an obsessive thought, trying to step out of it. But I understand the question. It's like it's hard to step out of judgment, because there are certain things that are right and wrong, and that's a reality call. It's okay to be a little bit judgmental. I don't mean about, like thinking you're here and everybody's here. No, that's ego. But, what certain politicians have done is clearly wrong. Yeah. And it's okay to say that there should be justice. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
I just think that, try not to get hung up in the negativity of it. That, convince yourself that out of all of that darkness, there will be some sort of positive light.
Yes. And stay on that side of it.
Correct. And that ultimately justice will be done. What happened in Nazi Germany was horrific. I mean, killing 8 or 10 million people because they were a certain religion or a certain race. It's horrible. But if you talk to members of the Holocaust, they said they survived just second at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they got through it, second at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't imagine surviving anything that horrific.
Yeah.
But I think you have to do it second at a time.
That's amazing, huh? How we do
and look, justice did happen. It's not going to bring back 10 million people. The frightening thing is I see it starting in this country, and that's what's scary. But it's up to us to speak up so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
But take a second at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we can get so normalized to the negativity.
And that's exactly what's going on. Things that are going on nowadays, we would think, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, that would never happen because the shock value, we lose the shock value, and then we're waiting for the next shocker. And so that this stuff becomes normal.
Right.
And it's not normal. The things that are going on now are not normal.
Yeah.
And and you're right. We get normalized to it, and that's frightening.
Yeah. Yep. And if we can have, again, going back to having that time alone every day, away from all that, so you can just know your own heart, because that's not going on in here. This is, the God source, the universal consciousness is here. Right. That's not what's going on there.
And right. And I think we need to, you hit it really well, that we can't normalize abnormality or dysfunction. We can't normalize dysfunction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's about keeping our integrity. And I think a lot of places in this country, especially our leaders, have lost their integrity if they ever had it to begin with.
Well, that's another, that's a whole nother ball of wax. Yeah. But all we can do is be the most highest integrity that we can possibly imagine as a human.
I can tell a little story. When I moved into my townhouse, we're responsible for our own little backyards, and mine was mud and everybody else's was mud. And I'm like, the association to do something, this is terrible. Oh my God, how can they do the blah, 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 blah. And nothing ever got done. So one day I said, you know what, I'm tired of complaining. So I went out and I bought some dirt, and I bought some plants, and I bought some gravel, and I bought this, and I bought that, and I landscaped my own little backyard. And everybody started looking at it and say, wow, that looks really great. And pretty soon they started doing their own backyards.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I moaned about it and griped about it, nothing got done. When I took action and beautified my own backyard, it didn't rub off on everybody, but it rubbed off on a lot of people, and they beautified their backyards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's my question to dealing with the negativity. Beautify your own backyard. We're not out to change the world. We're out to help change ourselves. And in so doing, maybe other people can live their lives for the better.
Mm-hmm. And beautify in the heart, the backyards, the heart, the front yards, the light all around.
Correct. So,
Lovely.
we don't worry about, what this one's doing, what that one's doing. I mean, I do my political predictions, of course, but what do? We spread inclusiveness, we spread love, we spread understanding, we clean our own backyard.
Yeah, I love it.
And we speak up against those who try to dirty our backyard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I just saw a flash of somebody, I don't remember the name, I just came across my screen about a question, and this kind of reminds me of being inclusive or exclusive. Because Jimmy Carter is on hospice now.
Yes.
And do you feel like when he does pass, if he passes before 45 passes, will 45, well, would he even go if there was would he be invited, and would he even go? That's a good question. Maybe we don't care.
I'll answer it this way. And some people are going to write me about this and strenuously disagree and blah, blah, blah. But I think when people who are heartless and who exploit others to get ahead and blame others and step on them and tromp all over them. I said tromp, not Trump. When they tromp all over them for their own ends, I think, and their own hold onto power, I think when those people die, they die. They cease to exist. Because to me, hell is the absence of God or spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just cease to exist, that's hell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or feeling aloneness for an eternity.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
right.
And that's how I see it.
Yeah, but do you think Jimmy Carter would even have a plan as far as having who's going to be there? Or is it just going to be, okay, all the ex-presidents will be there? No.
Sure, there's a special place in hell for some ex-presidents. I'm not mentioning any names.
Because Carter...
I think Jimmy Carter, he's very religious, but he's also very spiritual.
Yep.
And I don't think he would think along those lines. I heard him when they were talking about gay marriage. He said, there's nothing in the scripture against gay marriage. He said, we have to love everyone. That's what Christ did.
Oh.
And so I think, when he dies or passes over, there's not a question in my mind where he's going to go. He's going to go to the light. He'll be with God.
Yeah.
I think that Jimmy Carter would be the kind to say, forgive. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or condoning bad behavior or making it right. It means you move forward, but he would say, forgive. We have to see the God light in that person as well. And sometimes that's really hard to do.
It is.
I can't speak for Jimmy Carter, but my guides are telling me that's what he would do on the other side.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh.
God, that he wouldn't do.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful, Mel. Whew. Thank you. Just sending him love, right? Jimmy Carter. And somebody was asking, yes, we are on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, yes, we are on YouTube as well.
Oh, Dakota Deb says, I'm with you, Mel. My garden has given me peace and I can share veggies with my friends. There you go. Grow those veggies and share them.
Oh.
Spirit. Food is love.
And Craig's saying, I know President Carter believed in ETs as well.
I don't know if he did or didn't.
Yeah, he did. He talked about it. I heard him talk about it at one time, or heard something about that.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so here's from Pebbles. Okay, Pebbles 1021. Hi, Kim and Mel. How do we find out about our soul contract stages and whether we are aligned with that or not?
See, I differ on that, and everybody's going to jump on my case. I do believe that we have karma from past lives. But after working on murder cases and things like that, I have a hard time believing that anyone would come back with a sole contract and contract to be murdered or contract to be killed in a concentration camp or contract to, have some of the horrible things happen that can happen to people. I don't see people contracting for that. I think we contract to come back. And I think our lesson is whatever is thrown at us, to at least learn from that. And if it's negative, try to keep it from happening again to others. But I think our contract is to help others, period. Yeah. That's as far as I go with it.
Yeah, I do too. I do think, though, we are our own managers.
Correct. Absolutely.
Of our contract. I mean, I asked Spirit this once. I said, I don't want this anymore. Who's the manager here?
Exactly.
You are
responsible for your own stuff.
We're your own manager. Yep. Okay.
You should try writing. You're very good with words.
Oh, really? Well, thank you. I'm starting a little hospice book, but it's been on the back burner for a while. Okay. Now let me see. Oh, I don't know if this is. Well, we could try this question. Robin Owens is wondering, hi, Kim and Mel. I'd love to return to Venice since my trip last December was cut short due to weather. When can I return for a week? Now, this is maybe a difficult question.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
Robin Owens wants to know when she'll be able to return back to Venice for a week.
Oh, to Venice?
Yeah.
Oh, it was cut short because of what?
Weather.
Oh, come with us in October. We're going to Venice.
That's what I was thinking.
If you want to come to Venice, we're going to be in Venice, and then we're going to go to Florence and Montecatini, and then one day Siena, one day Pisa, and then to Rome, and then we're going to come home. So if you're interested, 847-590-5411.
Okay,
847-590-5411. That's my
okay. Your office.
I do see a trip to Venice within a year, so good for you.
I agree with that. I feel that too. As you're saying it, it feels stronger. Okay. Okay, here's a question. It's political from Libby Lou. Do your guides see Jack Smith charging 45? Those are the charges I care about the most because it's about the documents. That's what she says.
I see a grand jury coming up with indictments. The answer is yes. And Trump is trying to squelch or stop. I just saw his lawyer on TV tonight, the whole thing in Georgia, and they're not going to, his lawyers will not succeed with that at all. And they're also trying to squeeze or stop the New York investigation. It's not going to happen. And Smith is going to come up with things too. Absolutely. And then he's going to refer to the Department of Justice for prosecution.
Okay. Awesome. We just keep visualizing that happening, giving all Jack Smith some support.
Well, Trump is trying to run out the clock.
Yeah.
Okay. And, the clock is going to run out on him.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Another happy birthday from Pirouette White.
Hi, thank you.
Okay. Now here is homegrown. We've got 4 more questions. If we can hang in there for 4 more.
Oh, we've got. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Homegrown standards is written. Could communication from someone who has passed make you feel nauseous or physically sick if you aren't used to communicating?
No, it should not. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I'm hooking into a case of somebody who passed away, specifically it's a murder case or something, I'll get some of the symptoms in my body that they had before they passed, but it doesn't make me uncomfortable because I know what it is. So, that could be what's going on with you, but typically you shouldn't feel like physically ill or nauseated when you're doing it.
Unless they're empathically picking up.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But
I'm
also
empathically picking it up. That is correct.
empathically, right. But also, I know sometimes if I am doing maybe yoga, for instance, where you move a lot of energy, if I haven't done it in a long time, I can get a little bit nauseated from that because I'm moving energy. But I don't feel physically sick or anything. I just know I'm moving energy, and I can if my body's not used to that.
And that could be a good explanation, actually.
Yeah, moving the energy. Yeah, and reminds me I need to do yoga more. Okay, Viviani is asking, and we know our beautiful Viviani here, anything about her spiritual journey or clairs that we can help her with?
Oh, well, I pick up she's highly intuitive. I use the word intuitive, psychic, mediumship, all interchangeably. Some people think mediumship is just talking to the dearly departed. It's not. It's taking what comes from spirit and passing it on.
Mm-hmm.
And so Viviani spirit shows me the symbol of the hands, which would be healing modality. So I see you learning some of that. The question about the clairs, here again, if you're visual, it'll be clairvoyant. If you're auditory, it'll be clairaudience. But the more you do it, the more of the clairs open up. I call them the clair sisters. I mean, I do think, Viviani, that you're claircognizant.
That's what I was going to say.
That means we know. We don't know how we know or what we know. We just know. And
She's very claircognizant.
very.
She's got a lot of blue in her field, and then this blue is very much of an intuitive.
Intuitive. Blue for me also means the color of abundance.
Okay.
For me, the color green is healing because we have more blue on the planet, like ocean, than we do green.
Uh-huh. Oh.
So blue is also cleansing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
nice.
Clearly claircognizant.
Yeah, I know. I just for sure, absolutely claircognizant. Okay. So, and that's one of the hardest ones to verify because it's just it and you don't know how you know it.
It's just you don't know. It's like, how'd you know that? I don't know. I just knew.
You just have to trust it.
And the hardest thing to get people to understand is, you don't know how you know or what you know. You just know. Like, I just know this doesn't feel right. Well, how do you know that? I don't know. I just know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, happy birthday, Mel, from Bob Nelson. Hope the year ahead is filled with good health, happiness, and many blessings. I see that.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks. Back at you. Ditto.
All right. Karen Stinius, I think I'm saying that right. Will Eastern Oregon be moved to Idaho as Republicans want and not be a part of Oregon anymore? So Eastern, I used to live in Oregon. I do know that the Eastern Oregon is very country based. You know what I mean? It's the Republican area of the state. I didn't know they wanted to be separated from the rest of the state.
Not going to happen.
I agree. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. A lot of these southern states are talking about secession, but that's illegal after the Civil War. And if they do that, then that's clearly, in my opinion, treason. And in my opinion, insurrection. And if they try it, it ain't going to work.
Yeah, I agree. It's not happening.
Some of these politicians saying that they want to divorce themselves from, the Constitution or, from whatever, from the United States. And they're the first ones to talk about democracy and freedom, but yet they're the first ones that want to take it away from us. They're the first ones that want to create anarchy and chaos so they can, try their, hold on a minute, their deceive, divert, detract, divide, and destroy.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
That's their motto. And so they're not going to win at that, I can tell you.
Patty D says, happy birthday, Mel. Another trip around the sun. Enjoy the energy of your day. Birthday this tomorrow. My mom's birthday is tomorrow, too, so I'll have to.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're an Aries.
I'm an Aries. 1 degree. Is Mom still with us?
No.
Well, she is in spirit, right?
Oh, yeah. She's always here. She's always with me.
Was she really highly psychic?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You said she did cards or something, right?
She did numerology and astrology. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Back in the day.
I wonder what the number 9 means in numerology.
It's endings, right? It's also the humanitarian number. It's also about, it's an ending because it's 1 through 9, and then you start over at the 1, except if you have to go to the master numbers 11, 22, 33, etc. But 9 it's a wonderful number. Is that your birth number?
No, but when you mention your mom, I saw transfigured over your face the number 9. And
Oh.
I don't think it's about a physical death or anything. I just think that there's some new beginnings that they're going to bring to you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for telling me that. My daughter's a number 9, but unless she's trying to tell me something about my daughter, but okay. I thank you for, she was such a wonderful numerologist.
I think it went for you.
Okay.
And then she's showing me a 1 after that, which now makes sense.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I think, as you're just saying that, I think something has to do with about the travel.
Yeah,
Italy.
that's exactly what it is.
It's about Italy, I think, as a
Yep.
beginner. You know what I
Right.
mean? Okay. Because it was my mom's side of the family that was Italian.
There
too.
you go. Aha. So it's about rediscovering that.
Yep. Okay, so now last question here from Kelly Scarborough, who is one of my buddies. We do the healing hour. So does Alice Leon, who's also in the chat here. Alice, thank you. And Kelly, I have to thank them so much because we do a healing hour every other Wednesday.
So I'll do a collab at some point.
Oh, yeah. Okay, please. Because we just go on Zoom and yeah. Okay, anyway. So happy birthday, Mel. And do you see any problems with the bigger banks in light of the runs on Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank?
Nope.
Okay. I didn't
We
think
were
so.
in St. Croix and everybody was in uproar. And, some of our friends down there are Republican, some are Democrat, and they were going, oh my God, the bank. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think they're going to let Swiss Bank fail or Signature Bank. I think a lot of it was just mismanagement on the part of the bank. But I think the government bailed them out, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not worried about it. I mean, I don't see like a major crash or anything like that.
No.
I mean, if you think about it, when it was a George Bush, when Obama came into the presidency, they had to give the banks, the big banks in this country, a huge bailout. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Those banks were really hurting, and I'm talking the big banks. And guess
Right.
what? Here we are.
Yeah.
So I think they gave them a bailout, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they did too. I think. Yeah.
I think some of it was just poor management, is what I think. But I'm not worried about the banks.
Okay.
I didn't go draw my money out. And you know what? Your deposits are insured anyway. So up to 100,000 or 200,000. So.
Yeah. I didn't draw my money on it.
Light of it, Kelly. But just everybody don't panic. Yes, if you have a credit card through Signature Bank, you still have to pay your credit card.
Yeah. And then Kelly says, thank you. And hope they close out the loopholes. Hello, Alice again. And then thank you. Yeah. So what are you going to do for your birthday tomorrow?
Well, I am going to sleep in.
Okay.
And my favorite restaurant here in Chicago is Mykonos. It's a Greek restaurant. I love Greek food. I love Italian food. I love food. But I want to go there. Athena is the owner, and she's going to come with us on the Rhine River cruise. They're just wonderful family, wonderful people. So I'm going to go there and I think have some, I don't know, some good Greek food. Like I'm thinking about maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking of pasticcio, which is like a Greek lasagna. I'll figure it out when I get there.
Oh, how nice.
They have the best grilled octopus. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Okay.
I think I'll go do that. Play with the dog a little bit. Probably go to the grocery store and pick up some things I really want to cook and play around in the kitchen and just hang out and have fun.
It sounds like you have a nice day. You're not going to work too hard.
No, I'm taking the day off tomorrow.
Good. Awesome. Yay.
Everybody should take their birthday off if you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you. And thank you for being here on your birthday eve.
Thank you for having
me. Happy birthday. And thank you, everybody, for being here and joining us in this lively hour of entertainment. with Mel Door, and you've got a YouTube channel, and you've got a website, of course, and your YouTube channel is Mel Door, right?
Mel Door Psychic, just Mel Door Psychic.
Doerr.
Correct.
I don't know where I got the H before.
A lot of people do that. It's really common.
Put an H on the end?
There's an H in there. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Actually, in German, it's a D with a dot over the O and 2 R's, which changes the vowel sound, but the closest we have into English is OE. It's hard for me to even say in German. It's Dür. It's a Dür. And it's like schon, SCHON, in German means always. If you put 2 dots over the O, schön means pretty. So it changes the sound of the word and the meaning of the word.
Okay. Do you speak, how many languages do you speak?
German, Spanish, I understand Italian. I can read probably around 3.5 or 4.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so you're a great travel partner then.
I love languages. I love dialects and accents and things like that.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so thank you so much, and thank you everybody, and more birthday wishes here from Marby, and thank you for the hat. This is a kind of I was just wearing this for Mel's birthday, guys.
Thanks.
It's kind of okay. Blessings.
Next Wednesday you'll be on my channel. Is that how we're going to do it?
Okay, yeah. You want to do it next Wednesday on yours?
Yep.
And we'll double stream it again if you want. I'll show you how to do that. It's not
show me how to do it.
Okay, I can show you in just a sec.
Okay.
Truly. It'll take 1 second.
All righty. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.